I left because eventually I was working at the Geltman Center in New York. I decided that moving out from the orgs, which were getting very heavy in terms of control, micromanagement of what you said, what you did, of your life, of who you talked to, it was still much looser out in the franchises, in the mission network, because we had to deal directly with raw public. And the raw public would be frightened away if there was a heavy-handed attitude. They weren't seasoned yet to put up with some of the nonsense that was going on up the line in the orgs. So the fresh new public needed to be treated the way everybody should be treated. Even celebrities who came in were treated nicely, the way everybody should be treated. And today, celebrities are treated the way everybody should be treated. And in those days, more people were treated that way. New people, fresh people. And so I was auditing and CSing at the Geltman mission, and then the finance police showed up on the scene. And they started suppressing the mission network and forcing us to do the job of flag or upper-level orgs. And really, our job was to bring people in and give them basic courses and give them basic auditing and do the grades. And they started taking away more and more services that we could offer to the public, and accusing the mission network of that we were stopping people from moving up the bridge, when the fact of the matter is that we were actually pushing them up the bridge and then moving them on to their next org for their next service. But that wasn't good enough because the money wasn't going fast enough. Follow the money. So the finance police came in to get the money out of the mission network. Well, this is a whole story. I mean, there were so many things that happened. The whole mission network went through an engram, a serious engram. And I was furious, and I was telling the ED of our mission, don't give them the money. Don't give them our savings. Don't give them what we've built. Don't turn your mission over to INT or whatever it was. And they said, well, Mary, you're going to have to control this. You can't have outbursts like this because you'll get in trouble. You'll get yourself declared, and we need you here. And I said, I don't care. These people can't come in here and steal our money. And they said, what should we do with Mary? What should we do? We could lock her in the sauna and tell them she's going through drug withdrawals. Maybe we could tell them that. Maybe we could send her away so that she's not here when they come. So that's what they did. They sent me to California for the Key to Life course, which I ended up not even getting the Key to Life course because FLAG refused to send my folders to California. So I ended up in California staying at some friends' houses, and New York started getting attacked by these missions. And so then it was time for me to go back after they left, and they had turned over the money, and the head of the mission had been declared, and the next person on the line was the new mission holder, and it was a very tragic situation. They were my dear friends, and I refused to disconnect from any of them. The people who've been declared were still my friends. I mean, people who were declared that had incredible stats. There was no ethics protection. Ethics protection went out the window. Policy wasn't being followed. It was all arbitrary. And I was saying these things. I was telling people how I felt. I was outspoken. And then a mission came and started interrogating me and saying, did you say this and did you say that? Did you say management was a bunch of Gestapos? I said, yes, that's right. That's what I said. And they said, you can't say that. I said, well, then stop acting like it. And they wouldn't listen to me, of course. And they said, you're in treason, you're in this, you're in that, and putting me in low conditions. And I don't even know what condition they assigned me. But I said, look, I'll do whatever you want me to do. You know, you want me to wash the stairs at the org or whatever. Just let me get on with this, get through this. Because the staff at the mission wanted me to maintain my CSing and my auditing. They didn't want me to leave. So I said, let's just get this over with. Yes, I said these things. Yes, I think these things. And I'm not disconnecting from my SP friends. Because to me, I knew these people for years and years and years. And all of a sudden, I can't believe, I did not get auditing and trained to have such a low IQ that I'm going to believe that they all woke up one morning and turned into SPs. And there's nothing you can say to change my mind about that. As a matter of fact, I was auditing when you were in diapers. So I used to say things like that. They didn't like it. And that also goes for David Mayo. I didn't know David Mayo, but I said, hey, you're going to tell me the person that L. Ron Hubbard picked to be the highest trained, highest classed CS for the entire world, the top case supervisor, that was his personal auditor, that he chose, who helped him when he was sick, who helped him develop the Knox rundown, and audited him and got him well at that time. I said, you're going to tell me that person, David Mayo, woke up one day and turned into an SP? I'm sorry. I can't make myself that stupid. And if you want to believe that, you go right ahead. But that's not something I'm going to buy into. And so they couldn't shut me up, basically. And they said, well, you're going to have to turn in names. Names of all the people who think like you do, who are in communication with declared people, or people in bad standing. You're going to have to turn in names of people who have said bad things about upper management. I said, well, I can't do that. And they said, why not? I said, because that's everybody I know. That's all my friends. And I had 400 friends. I had 40 best friends. They all thought the same way. They all said the same things quietly. I was more outspoken. They would kind of buzz behind the closed door, but they all felt the same way. So they said, doesn't matter. You're going to have to turn them in. I said, I can't do that. Well, you have to. I said, no, I don't. And they said, well, what are you going to do? I said, well, I'll resign. You will make me resign. If I have to turn in names first, I'll resign. Because that means I would be playing God in these people's lives. I would be changing their life forever if I turned them in. They would lose their businesses, their loved ones, their family, their position, their jobs. I'm not going to do that. I can't do that. So you do what you have to do, but I'm not turning them in. So they ended up threatening me with ComEbs and threatening me, but they never actually, as far as I know, and I've never seen the declare on me. It must be there. I'm sure my name is somewhere in neon lights and goldenrod, but I have not seen it. They said we will, so I resigned, and I sent a letter around to everybody that I could think of, including L. Ron Hubbard. And I said, when you decide to follow the codes and the principles and the basics of the subject of Scientology, as written in the books by L. Ron Hubbard, when you decide to do that, I will reconsider giving you my support. But until that time, I resign. So then I found out about David Mayo. I called people who had left the church, and I walked through this black door, having resigned from the Church of Scientology, and all these SPs called me up and took me out to dinner. I had a great time. And one of them was my husband, Frankie Freeman. And we had dinner, and we took a trip out to Santa Barbara, and we got on staff at the Advanced Ability Center with David Mayo, and we started delivering upper levels, and it was great.
So you left the church, but you didn't leave the Scientology, is that
That's right. The church left Scientology. I did not. They went that way, and I just kept going straight. And so did a whole bunch of friends of mine.